Hello and welcome to Joe Kakaka. I'm Jim.
I'm Sam. We don't really have a name for this.
We don't really have a name.
We kind of do these.
This is kind of like an emergency. Dr. Stone has ended, and I have hot takes about it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
More so, like we had been playing around with the idea of doing a follow up because we did a Dr. Stone podcast covering the first 134 chapters.
Yeah, from the beginning to like the Treasure Island arc.
I think it was like right as it ended.
Pretty much, yeah.
Basically.
The arc just ended.
So wow, has this like post that arc was like this past like almost 100 chapters was the globe. I would call it like the globetrotting arc maybe.
Yeah. Because of that arc, people kind of thought they had like a rhythm going for like how the arcs were going to go, especially with how it got mapped out afterwards.
Yeah.
But...
So okay, I just kind of want to address the elephant in the room. So you kept up pretty regularly.
I kept up. You got really behind, and you got caught up in like spurs. Like
because I don't like to just sit down and read like 120-page like manga chapter every week.
So masochist like I am.
So I'll wait for there to be like 50 or so, and I would just binge them, and I would love it. I mean, it would make me feel good. I love Dr. Stone, huge fan.
I think at the one point when Chelsea got introduced, I'm like, Jim, as a character, I'm pretty sure you would love that got introduced.
And I do love her. It's weird. There's so much to talk about, unfortunately. All I'm really focused on right now is the very ending. Because I'm like upset by it.
Because like the only arc we covered from there on is like there's the mini boat arc, and then there's like the America arc, and then the space arc essentially.
Yeah, I just want to see what chapter 134 was.
Obviously, spoilers, by the way. If you're somehow think the video with the thumbnail that says like Dr. Stone Spoilercast chapters whatever
it's probably gonna say Dr. Stone ending is horrible or something.
Jim's way more negative. I'm more mixed on it.
You're in like the what's it called? You're still in hopium, not hopium. You're still like you're in the honeymoon phase. Like you haven't realized how bad this is yet.
The negative is like a negative thing that I hate the most. So
okay. So the last one that we was in the middle of the Treasure Island arc, or I think it was near the end of the Treasure Island arc. I'm just trying to find when that ended.
Well,
so yeah. So last we've talked about it. We still had like a totally different. Yeah. So that ended like at chapter 138.
We didn't wait long.
Yeah, so then it's the New America City arc is I guess the next one. This is the first time I've looked at like what people consider arcs. So there's the New American City arc,
the Escape arc again.
The South America arc, New Stone World arc, Globetrotting arc. So there is a Globetrotting arc, but it's not what I was talking about. Then the Moon Mission arc, which I guess would be the ending.
Yeah.
Goes into the end. So that's kind of 5 little mini arcs. This might be kind of a good way for us to talk about some of these really quick, maybe.
Yeah, maybe to talk about like the characters and everything, because like the America arc is really when a bunch of new characters come in. Only like 2 are prevalent really out of the new. I think it's 3 because Chelsea kind of comes in out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, she comes in like I guess technically in the South America arc.
Yeah,
right?
literally right like while they're traveling or while they're cutting through like the Panama or like the.
Yeah, Chelsea's weird. So I'm like of 2 minds on how I want to do this. Like I mostly just want to talk about the ending.
Same.
So I don't know how we want to like. I kind of want to just talk about the ending right now.
Do you want to get that over with?
Kind of, but like at the same time, it'd be like, why would we talk about the other stuff without talking about the ending? Like, I just want to say maybe we can kind of go like briefly through that. Like, I really enjoyed like all of these. Like,
yeah, I enjoyed the little mini gambling arc and everything. Like,
the gambling there's so many like little wonderful moments. That's what I love about Dr. Stone is the character interactions are so fun, and the way that the characters are used is really fun too, because everyone is like so hyper specific in what they do.
Yeah.
So you can have a character like Francois be like, oh, I'm gonna make cocktails for everyone, and it's like, oh, I love this.
All
this
cocktails based on your personalities and everything. Because I don't know, because you know. And I love that, but then it's also like introduced like the end of like the Treasure Island. Introduced like Jinro got like a servant, essentially like a samurai servant.
I thought of that like as I
thought it would be
like
super
the second
important.
to last chapter, and I was like, where the fuck is this guy? Totally unimportant.
It's gonna be super important to the plot, and it wasn't.
Like a literal like joke character, I guess.
A joke character for a joke character.
Speaking of which, Kinro hardly anything in the end.
And also, they get 2 of the people from the Treasure Island arc to join the team, like the warrior, the chick who actually, like the girl who who was kind of cool with all the multiple like boob outfit.
Yeah.
That's supposed to, I think, a reference to like the god of fertility. I think had like that image of like having multiple breasts like that. That's why it was the outfit was based off of.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one dude who's like one of the lead minor villain that they got Hyuga to fight, I think.
Yeah, I forget his name, but
and he became good too.
It's weird how like I know the whole point of Dr. Stone is that like we don't want to kill anyone. Like bad guys become friends. That's like ever since Tsukasa, that's like the whole thing, which I like.
At least Tsukasa, at least like he had the arc and everything, and like
for him it totally works.
Yes.
Also, Tsukasa like sacrifices himself too. Like
and he had
he really earns it,
and he had the interactions with like Senku the entire time as well. Like we understood his character and everything.
Which also, not to like also just bring up other things.
His sister's also completely irrelevant after.
Yeah, she's just a plot device. Basically.
After they revive him.
But so the whole initial like conflict in Dr. Stone is we have 2 conflicting ideologies. We must rebuild the world to not reflect the old one, and Senku, which is we must exactly bring the world back to how it was. We must not change anything.
It was also mind versus might.
Yeah, that's kind of like the overall like differences, and like that's how like each side is like a different thing. But that's like Tsukasa's thing is he's like just killing people. Like well, of course we learn that no one dies. I don't think a single character dies in Dr. Stone except Byakuya and
technically Tsukasa kinda.
No,
he's literally put on ice.
Yeah, no, but like so many characters, like Ginro has like a death fake out. Like I remember when I was reading, like I still love the series.
Okay,
but once they like harness the power,
you mean the part where they get fucking massacred?
Wait, like the part when he gets like his
in the South America, the climax of the South America.
No, this is on Treasure Island.
I know. I'm just trying to say that arc had like.
Oh no, that also did happen.
That episode that fucking arc. Reading that weekly was like literally horrific to see like characters that we know just get fucking gunned down. It was like horrifying.
That was pretty crazy. But that's the problem was so like once they just like did the Medusa device and they were like, oh, this can like heal wounds. I was like, okay, no character's ever gonna die.
But the best part is that they like address that just being like, this is like fucked up like technology that we can't like really have going in the world because it just causes so many issues.
It does become like a pretty predominant plot point.
Yes.
Like, and
which we'll come back around to this when we get to the end.
I feel like these are all really good like little things to bring up because these all are gonna come back into like why I think the ending fails in like so many ways.
Yeah.
So ultimately, what this kind of like post Treasure Island arc series is, it's like we need to build a rocket to the moon. The Y-Man is our big bad. He's on the moon. We need to go around the world.
Get our resources.
Yeah, create these cities, which are essentially just like resource farms.
We have one for food, like one for like math. I think one just for like metal.
Yeah, the one in Australia is like some sort of like heavy metal. It's aluminum. This is the thing too. Like early on, it's a little easier to remember.
A lot of people thought that like
easy.
Every city is going to be like an arc kind of thing, where like maybe they'll have issues in everything. But no, it only real conflict is like America.
So I feel like everything felt very like the pacing. I thought of Dr. Stone was very good.
Yeah.
Initially, like. Even like the tournament arc. Remember the tournament arc?
Yes, it's great.
That wasn't more than like I think 5 or 6 issues, but it was or chapters, whatever. But it's still like really fun, and it feels like you get a lot of time with the characters.
Yeah, you learn all these new side characters, all their quirks, and like
Kinro has like great moments in it. Like every character is given great moments.
The great panel of just him with like the Suka head.
Yeah, the Suka head on. It's very funny.
Which is one. Look at the Suka. Suka has a great arc. I think
that is but like ultimately, it's like
does not.
Yeah, like I think there's so many characters that like essentially it feels like their stories are cut short because the ending just like happens.
Yeah, because
like, Chrome basically just doesn't.
We'll get to Chrome because Chrome that's like my biggest negative of what was Chrome.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we get to like the American arc. Just like okay, we did Brain versus Brawn. Now we have like Senku versus Evil Senku essentially.
Which also, when I saw that guy, I was like, I was like, really? Like, I understand what you're doing, but it's like, all right.
And he worked with Byakuya, of course.
Yeah. Which honestly, I don't hate that, but like the fact that he just looks like Senku.
He also like Senku was like a fan of him and like talked to him a little bit.
it's things like that are fine. Like I don't have an issue with. I think his design is really stupid. Also Stanley. Stanley has a
Okay,
very
so
noteworthy
reading
design.
this weekly. So the first time you see Stanley, we don't have a name or anything. Everybody thought it was a new wife. They were like, oh, you should check out this new hot chick. He's wearing this fucking leather outfit. Oh my god, like his name is Stanley. Like, oh no. But like,
it is so fucking funny.
it's what I do love. It's just like you could. It's like, they don't say it, but like you kind of know they're like in like a relationship. Him and Zeno.
Yes.
Which like I kind of like enjoy.
My headcanon, Stanley is a trans man.
I didn't say that. I just said like you're just a gay couple. Like,
well, they would still be gay.
I don't think he's trans, but
I would. That's what I'm saying is my headcanon. My headcanon, Stanley's a trans man.
But like, I was like, wait a minute. Like, would like the petrification like take off any kind of like any like surgery or like treatments? Like,
do we?
Would it?
Well, it wouldn't.
I'm just like thinking.
I'm gonna say the answer is no. The answer would probably be no, because I think it's supposed to be like it would fix like a current wound. But if it was like, say for example, you got like your appendix removed, because I don't think that it would recreate an appendix.
Like, I don't think it heals
Maybe?
physical wounds, but I'm not sure if it does cure diseases because it does cure Tsukasa's sister.
I don't know.
Does it cure Tsukasa's sister?
That's true. That's a good counterpoint.
That's literally why he was going to we're gonna revive your sister kind of thing. Like,
yeah. All right. Well, we're kind of lost in the weeds already.
But
no. So.
But yeah, we kind of get the conflict already where America's this gun-toting like this fucking guy.
I really love that in America there's a guy with guns. Like I thought
there's
that
like
was really
huge
funny.
buff like MMA girl that's also just like she's like a combination of like just Nikki like and what's her name? Your girl.
Kohaku.
Kohaku, yeah. Names are rough.
I know, especially these these little arc characters. I can't remember any of their names.
Stanley and Zeno are the only important ones, but like.
Yeah, just so like ultimately, I thought the America arc was like good.
It's enjoyable.
Like it added a lot of new characters,
and like seeing like okay, this is like a Zenku that went to like hyper into like industrialization already.
Yeah,
they make weapons and planes and like
that was a really cool reveal because at that point we hadn't seen any other humans.
And you're like,
on Earth.
Fuck, we can't just send Tsukasa after because guns are his only weakness.
But yeah, like I mean that arc was good, and it's kind of interesting too how like Stanley really forced them to.
Stanley is like
to move forward and like to,
Stanley just
to
chases
escape.
them, and it's like okay, we had to split the squad.
Yeah, that's
up.
when they get the split. Yeah,
yeah, which I was really looking forward to. I was like, okay, we're gonna have like a split with like Nikki leading like the team staying like and like you were able to cut away from them every other chapters or every other arc or something. That'd be a really fun way to like. Just split up like
just to keep the characters relevant.
Yeah, and like it's really cool. So all the side characters have to be relevant, but you only really get 2 chapters of them doing stuff before they're petrified.
Yes,
because they introduce a new character on their side.
Wait, which one?
Remember the watchmaker?
Yes.
The really weird watchmaker guy.
Yeah, he's got the hair in front of his face.
Yeah, he's like really weird with women.
Mm-hmm.
Like.
Yeah, funny joke character. So I think this is a good time to bring it up, but like this really illustrates the issue that Dr. Stone has, where I think he just because everyone becomes friends and joins the team, there just are too many characters to like write.
Because Zenku actually just like wins by like literally just with the whole plan in the South America arc. It's just like oh yeah you won, so we're just gonna help you now.
Yeah, like I think that's the most unrealistic one. That he like. I understand like why he would want to join up with Senku, but it's at the same time like it doesn't
because like Nikki's group kind of like
right.
came to blows with that side and everything. All got fucking mowed down and like, that whole like when they all get fucking killed is like literally like the most insane thing. I'm like wow, it's fucking incredible.
It is, but like at the same time, I had the benefit of binge reading it, but like at the same time, I was like, well, I know characters aren't gonna die.
I know that it's just like but the way that happens with like Suka. Cause like
so that was actually yeah the Suika how do you pronounce her name? It's been so long. Suika, right?
Sure.
Suika.
We're not known for our name pronunciation.
Her whole like arc is actually really fantastic. This is like I think one of the highlights of Dr. Stone. So giving her like all of this because so basically what happens it's like they
entrust Francois and Suka to basically revive everybody, but like. Francois gets caught up, and basically Suka does the hiding, runaway thing and gets away far enough from all the petrification.
No.
No?
No.
Oh, no, she gets a little bit... She's the one that gets a little bit on her.
Yeah, no, so what happened was that Senku created a system where... Because Senku petrifies the whole world. So he made a system where if there was, like, a loud noise...
Your brain's more... I read this weekly, so this is probably... I read this, like, a year ago.
I read this a while ago, too.
Well, you probably read it earlier than I did.
More recent.
Or recent, yeah.
But, like, so still, but ultimately what happens is, like, there's, like... Senku petrifies the whole world.
Yeah.
Rather, because their plan of doing, like, a limited one wouldn't work. So Suika was, like... right under like the failsafe fluid, and there needed to be like a loud noise to like there was like they had like an echoing sound magnification thing that would shatter it. So I think it was like 10 years later there was like a lightning strike.
Yeah.
And then that's what caused her, but only she revived. And the whole thing was like, oh, I'm an idiot. I don't know how to do the science.
He told me I had to get poop. That's the only thing I really know I had to get. And
yeah, it's really heartbreaking with her because she tries to do it like the way that he taught her, that like, and she can't. She just doesn't understand like the mechanics of it,
and
because
like
she's not Chrome.
And you see her like, you see her like talking to like all the Stone statues, everything.
Oh, it's so sad. And then of course, like, yeah, you said she had to like, she remembered the one way was like, oh, burying poop, and like,
I don't know what kind of poop or like how long I had to do this poop stuff, but.
And it took her years. It took her like, I think how was she aged up? It was like 5 years or something.
It was like 4 or 5 years, but she's like. But yeah, you see her like her face and everything. Her mask is like cut off from like the, like they from the chin or up.
So I don't quite understand. Like I understand that
the only character that ages in this, in Dr. Stone.
That's true.
Because this thing takes place over like years and stuff.
So I think her redesign's kind of weird. Obviously, like he wanted to keep like the melon and the glasses, but it doesn't make any sense that like. The glasses are like way too low.
Yeah,
there would be no like purpose of them for even having them anymore. Like she should have just had like a pair of glasses.
Yeah, because like I don't think petrification doesn't fix your eyesight or anything though.
No.
Yeah, as we learn.
I don't think that wouldn't make sense. Like
yeah, cause I'm pretty sure like what's it called? Because Kinro I think that got petrified before and I don't think his eyesight fixed.
Yeah.
So or Chelsea, because Chelsea she needed glasses still.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was like a whole thing.
So.
Oh my god, that one initial Chelsea reveal face was so fucking funny.
But yeah, so we basically just like what's it called? I just lost my train of thought there.
So after like once like the plan works and they like have everyone on their side, the manga pacing feels weird now because we don't really have like an antagonist anymore.
Like, people thought, okay, we're gonna go, and they just revive South America to a stereotype. And like
stereotype.
Yeah, it's all like body dance. It like, basically just becomes Brazil stereotype.
There's like some questionable race stuff in this. Like, jumping forward, but like the Indian guy, the fact that they had to make him like half Japanese,
everybody had to be half.
Is like weird. Like they couldn't. Like, could you not? I know that there's like a connection to like Risui, but like, did he need to be half Japanese? Like.
But
you just have an Indian guy speak Japanese. That's
one more thing with Suka, I do like. She was always supposed to be the detective because she's always the stealthy one, but I kind of do like her being Chrome's assistant to become Dr. Suka, and I kind of just like that as well. Like
yeah, it just she doesn't do anything.
It's nice to have Chrome have someone like bounce off of instead of just like Senku just kind of shitting on him or like Kohaku punching him in the head for calling her a gorilla.
Yeah.
It's nice to have it because like especially when those two come together to like help out. I like it a lot.
Like it's good, but like in the ending arc, it feels like the
I know
it doesn't really like matter.
Oh no, I agree with that, but
like I don't know why Suika even like bothers learning.
And
math.
yeah, so people thought like okay, South America, North America, just get it done. So we now continue and we'll get speed run. You're not gonna speed run. We're gonna have an arc in like maybe another one of these big cities, but no, it doesn't. They kind of speed run. We get.
So I think they do Spain next. They bring back Spain
because they go get there's a whole fucking chapter about like Francois wanting to get like make the food for Spain.
Yeah, which I love chapters like that.
Yes.
Like that's where I think Dr. Stone shines, where it's like I don't know, like
it's just a little thing that we're just gonna go out of our way to do, and it's great.
Very humanizing because it's always these moments
like
of the characters,
like the camera, like the whole
yes, like these are like even like the
light
one of the
bulb.
more recent ones, like the rice, like when they cultivate the rice, and Gen is like. I didn't even like rice when I lived in like my former life, but now that I'm eating it, it just reminds me of like home
Or
and I'm crying.
Again, having soda for the first time is like
Yeah, it's these like really. I mean, food is
the
a very
like
relatable.
the light bulb
thing.
is probably one of the best like
Yeah, very
most-
relatable, very humanizing. Whereas like when you get them building like a rocket ship, it's like a little less relatable, I guess.
or Yo with his gun.
Yeah, well, that one is great. Actually,
That was one of my favorite.
That one works. That's
a pog moment.
That's one thing I loved about like that middle portion of Dr. Stone. You could take any random character and make him like the main character of like a chapter or two.
Tenju in that arc is like, I'm just gonna go in this water and just grab all the fucking bodies out from that got dumped out there, and like I even got this extra body. It's not important. Jinro like cross dressing and like these little things.
I love that so much. I love General cross dressing. It's so
the
funny.
hottest woman.
Everyone's like, "Oh my god, you're so cute." So yeah, I just to kind of go quick.
Okay,
because
we didn't really
the
talk
manga
about.
starts. To
Okay,
go
should
really
we talk
quick.
about Chelsea? I guess before, because she gets introduced like the middle of just to be convenient plot device of just like, oh, this is where you would find this rock.
Yeah,
or this is where you should cut through. She's like the
they need
the
to have
geologist.
a geology.
She's geologist
person.
/ geographer. Like she just like knows the land,
So,
and
yeah.
she speaks like internet memes.
She does. I love Chelsea. I'm a Chelsea apologist.
I knew Jim would love her. I'm not like
I love her
I don't love
design,
or hate
too.
her, but like she's just there.
She doesn't. It's interesting. People shit on Boichi's art a lot. I have a lot of friends who hate the art in particular.
Oh, there's some beautiful like he draws like
I think his art's great. I
Yeah.
love Boichi's. I understand why people dislike it, but like Chelsea in particular and like Suika, like I like when he does these like unconventional character designs that are more cutesy than like sexy, because a lot of his girls be sexy. I don't think he ever really draws Chelsea to be sexy.
No, she's always she has like that one her initial favorite that she comes that chibi kind of look for her every
Yeah.
time. There's that one panel of like the one part of Stanley's group that gets bitten by a snake and
Oh my
and does this
God.
like it's the creepiest fucking like panel of her like convulsing and
it's like a hentai pose.
it made me uncomfortable. I'm like
It feels like he just traced like a porn that he saw.
not the first time,
Yeah, literally.
but yeah. So
yeah, they do Spain and they get like some metal or some shit, and then
Yeah.
they go through the Suez Canal and they launch a missile. This is like very close to the end. Like this is maybe like 30 chapters out from the very
next
end.
big arc is like because Ryosuke didn't really have anything to do, so they kind of give him an arc with India and his brother.
Which actually, I thought it was good. Like Ryusui is a very fun character initially,
Yeah,
but after a while he just is the gimmick of like, I want everything.
yeah.
So giving him like the brother connection, I actually really liked that.
The
like,
brother came out of nowhere.
yeah, he certainly does.
There's no mention of him at all, and like
Yeah,
I do love the flashbacks, and I love his scar. Like his arms just completely black, like that's his.
Oh
crack.
yeah, that is really cool looking.
Yeah, and like he's just like the math by he just wanted to make a video game, but I do love like we're just gonna make a NES,
Yeah,
and you have to make it like the really old school way.
they don't really do that though, right?
No, it's a weird way of doing it, where it's like the simplest of computers, where like it's like the most bare bones like
I
computer
really
game.
did like how they explained the
I think
the switches with the computer. I
Yeah.
thought that was actually like
that's actually realistic, like of like early computers.
yeah, well, and ultimately like because everything's binary, so it's basically like going down to like the smallest element of current PCs too. It's like
Yeah.
everything is going off of like, okay, well, 2 switches means like X is flagged, 1 switch means the like Y is flagged,
Yeah.
which is really interesting. And it's funny too because like the whole like I really love that demonstration where they have Kohaku and she's like, well, I'll just do what you want, but I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't understand this, but I'll raise the flag when you tell me to.
And I like the arc, but he did come out, like I said, he came out of nowhere, essentially. I like, they're gonna be conflicting with each other, but like, go through the arc of, oh, but he just wanted to spend time with you. He loved,
Yeah.
he
was misreading his brother's, like,
yeah.
or even
It's just weird that he's like, oh yeah, he's just like, it's weird that they think he said he's half Indian, half
Japanese, like, for no reason. It just, they could have just made him Indian and made him, like, adopted or whatever.
Yeah, adopted
like,
brother would have been
brother.
very interesting just to be like.
Weren't they? Wait, are they half brother? They are.
They're
half
I believe
okay.
they're half brothers because I
can't
think
remember
like
if
their
he was-
dad or probably got around.
But yeah, it's just a funny, like, I don't know. I
Like,
feel
it
like
would've
that's a
been- it
manga
would've
ism.
been
Like,
nice thing-
everyone has to be Japanese.
It can connect to
Japanese in some
Senku of
way.
like because Senku's adopted.
Yes, which also, because think about the ending more, like, just no fucking closure about Senku's parentage or, like, anything.
It never important,
No. Well, we
But-
do see female Senku, though.
which is weird. Okay, we'll get there. I it's also really weird.
Yeah, okay. So then I think the last stop is Australia. And another one where it's like, oh, this could have been an arc maybe? No, they just get to Australia and they immediately start mining. I think it was aluminum.
Yeah, and they just start speed running the spaceship stuff, and the main thing that comes from that arc is, or at least this part of the arc is like the capsule thing of like how getting the how you get the ship up there with 3 people, or like it's got, or without him being petrified, or
Yeah, so I actually so their initial plan was, because we can't afford to like make a return trip, so we'll just petrify everyone on the moon, and then in some amount of time when we discover the space travel again, we'll like free you. But that could be like decades, it could be like centuries. I really like that idea. I thought they were gonna do it. I thought they were gonna have like a big time skip where like, so I had I had very different ideas of how the finale was gonna go.
Senku wasn't gonna go because of that.
I thought for sure that it was gonna be, well, they initially weren't gonna have Kohaku go, but that was something that like you could tell was foreshadowed that we're gonna.
It was always shown to be like Senku, Tsukasa, and
Ryusui, because the pilot.
Yeah.
So my thing, I thought they were gonna do like a double twist with that, where I was like, okay, they're gonna use Kohaku and then they're gonna have Chrome.
Yes.
Because that would be the ultimate conclusion to his character.
Because the entire manga has been like teasing up that Senku's like, Chrome, you are like the best scientist. Like, in fact, you come up with all this stuff that I didn't think about that point. Like, it exists in our world, yes, but I didn't think about. Like, it's amazing.
And there's that running gag too, where it's always like, Chrome discovers something that already exists. But he discovered it himself, which is amazing.
Yeah,
like, of course,
it's like you always see Senku's face where he's kind of even the one time he does it like in this arc when he's like, I think I know how to do the trip where you blast up and like parts and everything, and like him and Zeno are like both like kind of blown away by him. They figuring it, like this like concept of like space travel, or like how to get a spaceship set up or space station.
Yeah, how to offset the issue of like the weight. Taking because of the amount of like fuel they would need.
Yeah, it's great. It should have been Chrome.
So I thought that was really, and also this was a early thing from like the very first arc where they have a scene where basically I think it's with the sulfur, when in the sulfur pool, where Senku's like, I'm gonna go run in to save whoever. I think it was Ginro. And Chrome was like, no, Senku, you're too valuable to like risk your life on this. Like, let me go. So I thought they were going to do a similar thing where it's like, no, keep Senku on Earth. Make sure he lives, because he knows how to basically rebuild society. Whereas Chrome, even though he's a spirit of being a scientist, like it makes more sense for him to be the one that is going to like put himself in harm's way to really like,
and even like
solve the problem.
When we get to the end, just see maybe him being the one to negotiate with the Y-Man, just be like, from someone's point of view who's just been introduced to all like basically the human discovery and the human way, it's the way of being human, more the modern human. Just be like a great way to negotiate. Yeah,
because it shows like this is a person who is primitive in every way, and how he was able just through
keep up with them.
Yeah, just because of his like human spirit. Yeah, he was able to basically learn anything. Like he's like One Punch Man. He has like no limiter. Like, Chrome could like be as smart as Senku if he had the right, if he was born in the right conditions.
Yeah, he would have been a genius. Like more.
So yeah, and then the last bit. So they return to Japan.
Well, they return to Japan. We had that arc with them. Of course, we have the they basically get Ryuzi's brother because of the need for the math of everything.
Yeah, they need someone to do like precise calculations because they don't have computers to do it for them.
And that goes into Ryuzi's Ryusui. I don't want to call him Ryoji. I don't.
Call him Ryu.
His whole arc is just like, hey, I wanted to be the pilot because I want to expand the space, but I'm going to put the mission first because I know I'm not the best pilot choice for this. I'm going to pick Stanley because I know he is the best pilot. And like, this is the great arc. I'm glad. Like, this is like such and I love this sort of weird like curveball into the team because it's such a newer a side character.
Because he was the one that was like, and you didn't take it. You didn't think they would swap him out. Like, there wasn't like an obvious choice.
He's like the third or fourth main character next to like Gen and Chrome.
Yeah. So having them swap it out for Stanley, I thought was really smart. And also, like, it really hammers in the theme of like your enemies turning to your friends. Like, it's like having Tsukasa team up with Senku. Yeah, it's like that kind of thing.
And that, or Tsukasa like test out. He's like, he also did the same thing where like, I know I'm not the best man for the job because your eyes are like literally like the best thing, Kohaku. Like, it'd be more of a use, and I know you can fight, almost as well as I can. Almost, not better, but
I also love that part when they fight. He like tests her. He's like, you've gotten stronger. Like, you could
I love
totally beat me
Tsukasa
now.
so much.
Tsukasa's wonderful. It's another unfortunate character that just gets a little sidelined because
Yeah.
he's just not like the focus.
Yeah, it's just like a lot of arcs of people just saying like that's why Senku should have been the one to give it up, because that seemed to be a running theme of the trip, which is like
Yeah.
everybody giving it up to the person that has probably a better choice. Because we know Zeno can't go up because he has to manage the launch because he's the only
Yeah.
one that knows how to do that.
Yeah, and that's totally like that totally tracks. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like very strange. Like, I know why they did it. I know why Senku was up there.
Because I know because he's a poster boy, but still like
It was the wrong choice.
yeah. So, and then we do go into space eventually, and
So I do want to talk about like I did like that there was a lot of trial and error
yeah.
with the rocket, because that's the one thing with this manga.
Kerbal
A
Space
lot of the
Program.
times, yeah, a lot of the time they immediately were able to just like get something to work. So and like this is a real thing too. Like, it took a very long time for rockets to fire properly,
Yeah.
especially like manned
Test
like trips.
Yeah, that's why there's
to
always
space.
like launch sites and like like the testing ground in case it crashes. And it's like a
Yeah.
nuclear test ground. That's why they have like a nuclear like
Yeah, you don't want it to have a misfire
Yeah.
near like a city.
you
got
want to make sure it launches and detonates fine.
The one thing that I think is weird though is like, and this is kind of like a concern, I guess, about the whole series. It's like the amount of materials they have, because we see like maybe like 5 to 10 like rocket explosions, and they had like made a special satellite that they were trying to get up into space. So did they like lose that satellite every time when it exploded? Because that's like insane. Because when they finally get the one to go up, that one has the satellite on it. So and also just like the amount, because the whole thing was like them trying to collect these materials for the rocket, and it was like such a ordeal. So it's like, did they really have that much titanium to work with? Like, I don't know.
They just
This is
they sent
nitpicky.
Chrome into the mines, and he just found it all because this is one perk.
It's a little nitpicky, but like, I don't know. It's one of these things, like these little details get like lost when they start
Yeah.
speed running toward the ending.
And like I said, I like Chrome and Suka coming together and just being like, this is how we're gonna do it. We set it up in pieces, and
Unfortunately, that is like Chrome's like finale. That is the conclusion to his arc, essentially.
and also just when they get into space, it leads to another weird decision where they had their issue up in space, but they're luckily saved because
Ryusui just gets to go to
yeah,
space.
Ryusui, like, despite his character arc and that he just had, that was really good of like him giving up, his like, things he wants in life, like
He just
this greedy
backtracks.
man just like gives up something for the good of mankind, just backtracks and just gets up to space anyway and saves them, which is like really, you really had to do that? Like,
So part of me, one thing I would have loved, if the people that went to space, they should have all been like the new humans, like the Stone Age humans.
yeah,
Unfortunately, Stanley isn't. But what they could have done, so they said that there's like a lander. That's how like the rover is what he like smuggled himself in on. They should have been like, oh, it was so cramped, only a small person could fit. Have Suika's whole thing is that she would always go out and like grab items and like be the little reconnaissance. It should have been her. It should have been Suika instead of Ryusui. Ryusui's whole character arc just did a backtrack so that he could get exactly what he wanted. I mean, can you really expect much more? He's like a spoiled
it
brat
could have been
anyway.
Chrome at least, maybe.
Yeah, well, Chrome should have been Senku. Like,
Yeah.
it should have like.
Could have been, but no, we can't have nice things.
So I just think there was a lot of like maybe not great decisions made in
Or
this
things
final
stupid
arc.
like Taiju would do or something.
Yeah, but unfortunately, just also like a sidelined character.
Yep.
That's the thing when you have these like hyper specific roles for characters. It's like if the plot does not have a reason for them, they're just not
a lot of
gonna
them
be
are
doing
just the
anything,
Danganronpa the ultimate something, and that's
Yeah.
what they're gonna stick to.
basically.
But yeah, so yeah, let's talk about the space stuff finally now.
So yeah, this
The
is,
moon stuff, at least.
and by that you mean the final 3 chapters.
Yes.
Because that is literally how quickly this thing wraps
All
up.
right. And I guess we talk because first off, okay, before we talk about all the stuff Senku deal with, that's Kohaku and Stanley do literally nothing.
Yes.
Their point in this, like, I get it since it didn't like and there was no physical conflict that Tsukasa or Stanley, like, I think Stanley held a gun once, but like there was no point to them. They didn't
Yeah.
have any moments on it. They were just there.
It really didn't. It really didn't factor into it. Like, I think the idea, and I wonder if this was changed, but it seemed like he wanted to have like a fight on the moon.
Yeah.
Because the whole idea of bringing like a warrior it's funny. It's a stupid idea.
Having like
but
your main female character be the warrior and then like just doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it's just I don't know why they didn't have like there be more of like a actual physical confrontation, because that's what it seemed like they were writing towards, but whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just weird. Neither one of them did anything. Neither did nobody. Yeah, only Senku was the only one that did anything. Even what's his name? Ryozi to stay on the fucking ship.
Yeah, I don't really know why. So okay, the ultimate thing. This is like crazy. Spoiler alert! If you made it this far, we're gonna reveal the deep dark secret at the end of Dr. Stone. The petrification device, aka the Y-Man, which are the same thing, are a species of alien technological
a parasitic like a
parasites.
Yeah,
Techno-organic.
They're like a techno-organic like hive mind of,
yeah.
except for one. Well, we learned like one of them isn't, but one of them breaks off.
So I don't. This speaking of like Gurren Lagann.
Okay,
like,
tell me what you think of the Low Eye Man reveal.
I immediately did think of Gurren Lagann. I thought of like the spirals and the anti-spirals. Ultimately, like similar to the anti-spiral, it doesn't make any sense.
But it doesn't have the guy next trigger thing of being okay. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Because that show at least had the thing of being batshit crazy, where this one's trying to be a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't go to the climax of Gurren Lagann for like it to make sense. I go for like the emotions, the character arcs, like. But so the problem is that Dr. Stone was building this huge mystery up, and it really seemed like it was going to be like a human. Like they called him Y-Man.
Yeah, well, the voice was always in Senku's voice, though. That was always a thing that was weird.
Yeah.
But the reading this weekly was just like people were like, oh, if it's a human, because the one chapter ends like it's you. I was like, I should have. They do like it's you kind of thing. You're Y-Man. I was like, people were like, oh wow, it's gonna be like magma or something, being like pretending to be like stupid or something.
That'd
and
be
like
so fucking dumb.
But
that would have been the worst. That would have been worse than what we got.
It's so funny seeing. But yeah, I don't think there was like no person that it could have been that like I think would have lived up to it, or like people. A lot of people were thinking because like there's during the whole India arc, they basically like talk about Perfect Blue, and people are like, oh, this could be AI. So like, cause an AI goes rogue and like and that kind of thing, which I think
honestly is better than Aliens. The fact that it's Aliens feels like a fuck you. It feels like
I feel like this is like. I think the bottom could have been like random human or like person they knew that this betrayed them. I think AI probably been the best, but I think it's somewhere in the middle where I like kind of looking at this weird like unexplainable thing we don't really know the origins of it all, kind of like.
It just feels random. Like it doesn't feel like
it's random because it's like an alien, like it's like I said, hive mind, but it's also like an AI as well because it doesn't understand why they're rejecting immortality.
So yeah, I want to get to that in a second, but I think one of the biggest problems from like a writing standpoint is that it doesn't like it has nothing to do with any choice a human made.
Yeah,
it's completely divorced from any. There was no human interaction with this. They just attacked one day and then that was it.
Yeah,
it wasn't like everything else had been like a cause and effect. It's like, okay, this character did this for Senku, or like because this character did this, it caused this character like. And that's what science is. Like, science is, like, building off of mistakes, like, building off of...
I think AI would have been a great thing, or, like, maybe
it could have been Senku's dad made an AI. Like, Senku's real dad. Like, because that was a thing. It's like, who is Senku's real dad? Because, like, we know Byakuya is his adopted dad.
No one who cares about...
If Senku is, like, this genius, brilliant kid, like, his dad is probably also brilliant, or his mom, whatever. But... it could have been, like, all right, Senku's dad made this AI and, like, sent to the moon, and it... for some reason wanted to like had a reason to petrify rather than it being alien. Like Aliens is just like fuck you. Everything in the series was so not grounded, but it was all based on like real science, and then to just have like magic aliens.
I really wish
it's like all right.
If they didn't say like alien parasite or something, if it was just a weird like hive mind AI and just like not really like talking about his origins, it just being like a mysterious thing. It could have been human made. It could be from out of this world. It could be I don't know. It could be anything. Like this kind of just being this unknown origin thing, but like you can kind of believe it's like AI or something like that.
But the problem is that it's like explicitly like
I know.
Super technology, like the whole like anti-grav thing. It's like explicitly things that humans couldn't have done.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's like just like make it like, yeah.
Because at that point, unfortunately, what happens? So Senku ends up befriending one.
Well, he does a thing of us like, because they ask him like, why do you reject being frozen to be immortal? And just saying like, because like living gets me excited, and thus like science makes me excited and everything, and like being frozen doesn't give me that excitement. And then basically, I do like this part where like you recruit it one because like you had that same excitement I get when I want to like put my mind to something. And I kind of like that. I like the one like in the hive mind to like kind of break off and like join.
I'm just really too hung up on like why are they parasites? Like what do they get out of that? Because parasites,
yeah, because they just want it to.
They're basically bestowing a gift. That's how they view it. They're not getting anything. So here's where it doesn't. Maybe someone can explain this to me because it doesn't make any sense. So their whole thing is like they want more of them to be made. And I guess they can't do it themselves. So they give people or organisms the gift of petrification for immortality. But if they're in stone, they can't make more of them. They can't like create more of the Y-mans. Like I don't understand like what the Y-man is expecting it out of this. Like it's like putting a gun up to someone and being like, if you move, I'll shoot you. And it's like, why aren't you fucking like giving me a blowjob? Like, nope. But if you move, I'll shoot you. It's like, why am I not getting sucked off right now? Like, that's just what it feels like.
That's happening at gunpoint. I talked to you about this earlier before we even record it. When we were getting like we're getting some food. I was like, okay, so many years go by in Dr. Stone. Like, there's a lot of time that happens, but no one ever changed it. And I think one of the biggest things they kind of missed out on is like
You mean physically?
Physically, yes. Yeah. Yes, if they have these characters age, like you could, or at least like at least by the space arc, show that Senku growing facial hair or like his hair growing longer or something like that, and then like when they go up to meet the Y man, to be like, see, you are aging. Like this is why we're having even mortality. You like this is gonna lead to your death. We're trying to help you. Like why won't you just accept this like eternal youth essentially? Like that would have been a nice, great way to tie in like
it would have been something. It would have been like at least it would give like Senku something to like rebut off of.
Yeah.
Rather than just like, oh, I'm when I'm stuck in stone, I can't do anything. Like,
yeah, I think that would have been a great thing to have. Like, cause like a lot of time passes, but it's never noticeable except only Suka like ages.
Yeah. So
Suka and her pet pig and that dog. And a dog.
That's true, and the pet dog.
Yeah.
And so one thing that I kind of had like, because there was a lot, I speculated a lot about what the petrification thing was, like why it happened, and I really thought that it was probably like some sort of protection, like a way to like protect all humans, but it went wrong.
And then we got like because we saw that,
which kind of is, but like
because we saw anything in South America, we saw like the pile of Medusas,
ones.
Which is like crazy. Because like what the fuck?
Yeah, that was like a great reveal. But I guess they were all just dead.
Yeah, because the whole post with like the America crew was just like, we got the watchmaker to like, because you have to get these like small and precise stuff to get batteries in and out, like it's like a watch. So we got a watchmaker to do this, and it like also just like remember because it also went off on its own with like Yo and Gen. Remember? And like
they were who?
Remember Yo and Gen were like they had the Medusa like in like a
oh yeah, like that was basically in
like a chamber. And it went off. It went off and like stoned them.
Yeah, I forget. That was confusing. That was like a what's it called? Like a Chekhov's gun kind of thing, or like a foreshadowing for that happening later. But I can't remember exactly why that happened.
Because like they can just set off remotely if it's like working. Because they do the same thing when the Kohaku had like it's like on the moon sheet and it goes off and she just throws it in the gravity.
Oh, was it the whole thing where it's like they don't like being in an oxygen scenario because oxidization ages them essentially?
Yeah, or like rusts them, I guess.
But because when they're in a vacuum, there's no oxygen, so I guess that's like them activating. Okay, whatever. But yeah, that was a cool scene. I like seeing Ken get exploded in pieces and then
horrifying.
They just glue him back together.
Well, they have the ultimate like repair essentially. Yeah. So I do love this like her thing. She can just repair people. It's also like very stressful as we see like the stone.
I also love the idea that she probably has like a very intimate knowledge of everyone's body now because she's always like gluing them back together. She's like she knows like every like every ripple on Senku's toes.
I think Senku's only been. He only got repetrified once, right?
Whatever.
No, twice again. No, because Treasure Island. Treasure Island, he had to, but he also did the I threw it in the air and got myself.
Yeah, which I love that part. That part is great.
That part's great. That arc is awesome.
It just like thinking of how like the arcs concluded versus how the manga concluded. It's so painful.
It felt like
the arc conclusions were so awesome.
Yeah,
they always culminate to like this big moment.
Like I really feel like he hit a point where like he's just like I don't want to keep writing. I feel like I can go on for like my stories feel like I had like 300 chapters left to go, but like I don't want to write more of that, so I'm just gonna try to like speed this up a lot.
It really feels like that. It
Like,
feels
or maybe
like
Boichi's like, I don't want to keep drawing this. I want to work on that. I want to go back to hentai or something.
I really think that there could have easily been another 50 chapters.
Yes,
Easily.
Yes,
Like,
I agree.
they could have expanded some of the other arcs, like
Space stuff, or have some stuff going on like while they're trying to build the space stuff more, and like
even just having like building up some more characters that
Yeah.
like were just being neglected.
exactly.
I'm so salty that Chrome doesn't have like
Yeah,
a great moment at the end. His great moment is like just doing math and coming up with the section,
yeah.
the spaceship in sections.
yeah. I like a lot of the characters. Like last big thing is not great.
Yeah, it just. And then we haven't even talked about the final chapter
Yeah.
yet. So the final chapter just came out today. Sam read it, and your reaction was, "I'm very mixed on this. I'm excited to see you read it." And then I finally got to read it, and I was like, "I hated it. I absolutely hated it. It just felt like a fuck you."
Yeah.
It was like, so we've done a time skip in indeterminate amount of time. There's now like more cities. Like it seems like they've really started like build up the cities that they were building towards.
It's kind of funny because like so this ended, and I know like Fire Force ended like a couple weeks ago as well, and like comparing like that ending and like how like insanely like interesting that ending is compared to like this one.
Oh, did you finish it?
Oh yeah, I read reading that weekly, and like that ending is so like interesting, and like it wraps up like like everything so well, I feel, and like while also like just like lead the future afterward, it's just like where like this one is just like future. I'm like ugh.
Yeah, I really, really hate the
like,
note that they leave Dr. Stone off on.
Because like I like seeing like the where the characters kind of went from then. Like it's like that's the one thing I would love about like FMA's ending was just like how satisfying it was to see where everybody ended up at.
Yeah.
Where it only does that for a couple characters in Dr. Stone. Like we see like Taiju get married, a character at the weddings as well. But like
a lot of just little cameo, essentially just cameo. Like Chelsea shows up.
Chelsea's there. Yeah, we see Chelsea. See Nikki. We see like everybody. Like,
yeah.
And like basically this it just cuts around that like to like Senku like working at like the big lab, I guess. We see
female Senku.
What the fuck is up with female Senku?
It's just a hot. I feel like Boichi was like, I just want to draw a hot girl Senku.
I want to try hot Senku
again because he already did.
I'm like, come on, man! You just draw like a volume like alternate cover of that, like.
Or do you think that Senku's mom?
No, it's not. I was like, because like, hey, if Naruto can have female Naruto as like a move he does, I can have female Senku, or like.
There was a second where I was like, did Senku like pickle Rick himself into a woman?
I thought for a second there, I was like, did he just do a weird future experiment with like the device and like just had like a gender change device now?
No, it
was weird.
It's just a girl Senku.
I'm like, wow, what was a waste of a fucking like panel though. If I want to get more of like our side character we follow the entire way.
So I think the worst part about it is it's kind of feels like a victory lap. Like they're trying to be like, look how far we've come.
Yeah.
But the whole time I was just like, so I caught up to Dr. Stone. I read like maybe the last like 50 chapters last week. So then I was like, oh, I guess next week it's ending.
Yeah.
So then when I read this one, I was like already prepared for the ending. I was already like not in a good headspace because I knew that it couldn't resolve in one chapter in a meaningful way.
Another thing that I think that Fire Force did was like it had a 2-chapter epilogue. It was like the end was like epilogue part 1 essentially, and then epilogue. But like that is a good way I think to do a wrap up. I feel,
especially when you have so many characters like Dr. Stone.
Yeah,
like you should have done all like the joke side characters first, then have like Gen, Senku, Taiju, like the characters
weird.
that are like the ones we've seen for the most.
It's like when I think about like the Jolion's ending. Where it's just like you don't spend you hardly spend any time with any of the characters that you've like met along the way.
Yeah.
And like it just like ends with like 2 panels with it.
Yeah.
In a not very satisfying way.
I still kind of like the ending of JoJolion. It is like I don't know who half these characters are though.
I'm like a lot of this feels weird, but like this is also
feel weird.
And then this is just like we're building time travel. We're gonna go fucking back in time to save those fucking 7 people that died of old age or on the sea. So yeah, and then we're just gonna fuck you, Chrome. Fuck you, Kohaku. Oh, Chrome, you proposed? Fuck you. You're gonna wipe your family out from existence.
Yeah,
it's weird.
It just seems like
I'm like fucking never touch time travel, please.
It's
like
unless
that's your main plot point. Like you're gonna do a Steins Gate thing, or you're gonna do something interesting with
Yeah.
with it, like there's like other things I've seen where they do it real quick, and it's like very interesting what happens with that time jump or time travel.
But when you introduce it at the end of your 232 chapter manga, it's like, oh, this isn't a
like
good sign.
you can't do it well like you did with with part 4.
Yeah.
Where like, oh, this is actually a very interesting ability, and it has like flaws, and not like really. It can both like not really benefit the user as well, but like this is just like, oh yeah, we're just gonna go back in time and save 7 people, and like literally just get rid of like hundreds of people.
Yeah, it's just I think it's ill advised for Senku to like do anything with time, even like anything with like the new technology.
They should just be like focusing on like rebuilding society, or maybe like working on like what's after like space travel. Maybe like, oh, we're working on like a subway, or we're working on like actual maybe like a space station or something like that.
Because yeah, you could have like, because that's what kind of happened later on. Like early chapters of the manga were like very detailed in how they were making these simple tools, because you needed to get like, you could get really detailed.
Like they did a roadmap. They did a roadmap for the time machine. I just rolled my eyes.
Yeah, that was dumb. But like with these like the more complicated ones, they would like really zip through the roadmap stuff. Like they would not go nearly as in depth into it, and
because something got more complicated, and they had to like, okay, we basically, these are just the main components we have to get, like 3 steps of these like big things. Everything else is easy to get. But
I think that would have been like a good idea to do, like, okay, now we're like, okay, we're talking about city planning, like, all right, we need like a subway, like, oh, is it more optimal to do like an above ground or below ground? Like there could have been like mini chapters almost, or like mini little things where like,
we're making a helicopter, we're making like a cargo plane, or like a jetliner or something.
It would have been like more about like bettering the world rather than just like going to the moon.
Yes, like,
or like this seems like such a waste of Senku's effort to like do time travel. Like, what the fuck? Like
we're working on a like a greenhouse, like, or like some farming like technology, or even like, because they have the Y-Man, like at least the one Y-Man thing, like, oh, it's helping us make an advancement in like food, farming and everything. So it's like
even like medical,
or medical, like we're helping like actually going past what we originally were at, originally, and then going forward. But time travel, like, you jump in the shark real, like,
it's a huge jump the shark.
You don't jump the shark at the very last fucking couple pages. Like it's hard to do, and they did it.
Yeah, I really dislike the idea of time travel, and specifically how they say they want to like make they want to send like petrification beams back in time. So they're not like, they're saving people by petrifying them before they die.
But that literally just like
which is the spoilers from Madoka. This is kind of like what Madoka wants to do,
and like
what Madoka does do.
Literally like ruins the timeline. Like it literally fucks the timeline.
Yeah.
Like even if you bring them to the modern day, like that shit that you left is not there. Like the kids are not there.
So what we should have had a moment where Chrome is like, whoa, time travel, that's crazy, I never thought about that. And then Gen tells him the plot of Back to the Future. And then he's like...
Or Chelsea would tell him the plot of Back to the Future.
Okay, yeah, because more meme. But then he'd be like, what? Wait, but if the past gets changed, then we won't exist. And then it should be Chrome versus Senku. Like, Chrome is being like, Senku, time travel's a horrible idea. And then he does like... It's like what they did in the last arc.
Yeah,
where he comes up with all the reasons and then changes his mind.
Like we said, like we talked about the petrification, like one of the first big things when you find out like it's what it can do and like what it actually heals is because it is like, is this something we can't fuck with? Like we literally should not like play around. We do not play gods. Like this is like the biggest no-no in science.
Yeah.
Like what. Like it's like a rule. It's like a rule for humanity. Like things don't have to play around with.
And so going back to what we talked about earlier, one of the things that they discussed in the Brazil arc, at the end of the Brazil, I think it was Brazil, the South America arc.
Yeah.
Is we have this thing that could essentially keep people alive forever. We should not use this.
Yeah,
we should not use this technology.
That's the whole point when they find out, like, the actual use, and then like,
and they reject it when they talk to the Y-Man. But then Senku's like, actually, I could just use all this other technology. Yeah, like that's not a problem.
They first realized because when they heal, because they put Tsukasa on ice because he basically is just living dead essentially, and they're like, we don't know if this will work, but if it does work, like, and this guy's like, yeah, this is means right, like, yeah, this is like fucking like terrible actually.
Yeah, the implications because I think the other thing too is like the old man, like
Yeah, he healed his back.
yeah. What's his name? Fuck, I forget.
He's great though. I love him.
Is it Kisuke or Kensuke, whatever. They're because Chrome is like, oh my god, he doesn't have to die. Like if we just like freeze him and like revive him, yeah, he'll be fine. And then they're like, wait, like we can't just not have people die. Like that's just it's against like
human nature.
Natural like
we
human nature.
Don't play God.
Exactly, but then we have Senku
literally playing God,
wanting to do time travel.
This is some sort of Steins Gate, and that's how Steins Gate starts. It's actually a prequel to Steins Gate.
I would very much like for them to not do time travel. I don't know if there'll be any sort of sequel.
And
I would assume not.
The ending did not feel like an ending. It just felt like, look, we're teasing a sequel kind of thing. Yeah,
it did kind of feel like it's.
I was like, I feel like this is our next. I was like, I don't feel satisfied. I would just feel satisfied, just like saying we're still just gonna work together, and with this YMN we can just advance like these fields that'll help benefit people more, but not like be got in a god form. Like like we said, with medicine, with art, infrastructure, like all that.
But yeah, unfortunately, time travel.
Thank you, making a television show.
But yeah, I think I think that's kind of a good place to end off. Honestly, for me.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to discuss about?
What's your final rating?
That's really hard. The ending, like I love Dr. Stone, but the ending is like a real like knock against it. But conveniently, the ending is very short. There's very small portion of the manga that I dislike because of the ending.
I love that first half and like a good pretty much anything up to South America arc.
I think it really was. It was really good until they started like constructing the rocket bits. Like even that was like there were still good moments there. But I don't know. Like I would definitely keep it. Like it would be an 8 out of 10 for me, maybe. Like with like bad ending be damned, just because I love the manga so much.
I was gonna say 7.5, 8, because they're in the last chapter, especially the Moon chapter. Like he draws some beautiful like panels.
Yeah, like I love Boichi's art.
The art is fucking great.
It's funny.
Some people bitch about it, but like I think it does a great job, especially with some of those. Like,
I understand the way he draws women is very
but those
strange.
Some of those landscape like art is only like second to like Murata. Like just doing it like there's some beautiful environment shots.
Yeah, I really like.
I wonder I wonder, did he come out with that? Because I remember Boichi was working on like that Ace, the One Piece manga, like that weird, like I think it's like a retelling or a weird like a spin-off retelling, but like
I've seen screenshots. I don't know if
I'm not sure if that
released or whatever.
Released or like just partially released or finished, or that's like an actual like maybe he work on that more because like I could see that.
I've talked to some of my friends about that who are big One Piece fans, and they're like hate it so much. Like
they hate the art.
Yeah, they hate Boichi's art. So I think they fucking hate him doing it One Piece.
I think Ace is like a perfect character for him to draw, but
I don't know who that character is, so I have no context. But I love Boichi, love his art. We love a good Korean.
Another weekly done.
We love a good Korean representation in Shonen Jump.
I forgot he was Korean.
Yeah, he actually was the first Korean writer to have a series in Shonen Jump.
That's really cool.
Because he got to do the Dr. Stone spinoff. He did
the Bakugo.
He wrote and he drew it. So
not canon. But people thought like.
But it's the fucking guy. The AI is in the last chapter.
Yeah, people thought that was going to be the Y-Man reveal, but they already said like this manga is not canon, by the way.
But it kind of is because they show the AI in the last chapter.
I don't know.
What's his name? Ray, I think.
I don't know.
I didn't finish that.
2001 Space Odyssey, I get it.
Huh?
Probably a 2001 Space Odyssey reference. Just having an AI. I don't know.
Well, they do like they have like a HAL 9000 reference
because they had
with the big supercomputer.
Yeah,
which is kind of funny. But no, like I think it is really cool that because obviously Shonen Jump is predominantly Japanese. It's almost exclusively Japanese creators. So I think it's really cool that he was able to not only just draw, but also he was able to have his own series there.
Yeah. So now another weekly done. I'm like, man, is there another Shonen Jump that like newer series maybe to read weekly if it's any good ones or like.
It's funny because like Dr. Stone has just been like one of those things that for the past few years that I've loved to keep up with.
I've been wanting to maybe.
I don't know anything.
I've been maybe reading Jujutsu Kaisen, but like I might ask that more when we do the movie review because like I want maybe the people either have us both blind for that or just like because I've been kind of tempted to read that, but
It's up to you. I don't know. I probably wouldn't read it. I'll probably just watch the anime because I'll probably enjoy the anime more.
So I can be the smug one.
My problem with Attack on Titan was I was just so fucking curious about the ending. I needed to get
It's
there.
gonna kill me when we get that one,
But like Jujutsu Kaisen, I can wait. I don't need to.
I might read at least up to where the first season ended just to like refresh myself when the second season drops. But well, maybe it's more of interest to have me know something more. But I'm not sure. Is there anything good in Shonen Jump that's not like the big three like some
there isn't a big three anymore.
I mean like My Hero, One Piece, like and whatever.
Literally nothing. There's not a big three anymore. Every series is canceled.
Is One Piece
ending.
Is One Piece, Jujutsu Kaisen, and My Hero right now. My Hero's close to ending, I think too.
Yeah, well, because Demon Slayer.
Yeah,
Demon Slayer ended.
That's so shocking that it ended like at its peak popularity. Like
literally, like the year that it exploded, it ended. Like
I gotta respect that though. But yeah,
it's just strange.
Definitely in the comments, definitely put your feelings if you read it, or like put some Jump recommendations.
Yeah,
or some of the newer series, or like it's because this is probably like I'm not sure how this ranks. I know there are ratings. I remember like every time like Eye Patch Wolf does it when he's Shonen Jump, he had like the numbers, and like I think Dr. Stone was always like not the highest one.
Yeah, I think Dr. Stone's sales have been like middling.
Yeah,
it certainly is not one of the most popular. I really thought it was gonna stick because it's one of those like it has the anime adaptation. Like I thought it had like staying power.
They even got like
they'd keep it going longer. But
they announced they have the season 3. They have a teaser and they even said like a special like little manga short for the new season as well right before. So it's gonna be a mini like one shot.
Yeah, my interest in that is like minuscule.
So if anybody has like some good some good solid series that's not like shonen trash.
Yeah, I need to start reading more shit. There's so much that is like on my reading list I need to read.
Just finishing Fire Force and just been like, man, all I have left is Ranger Reject and Records of Ragnarok and
that's like the one good series that just feels like it'll last forever.
It's very.
I know it won't, but it's been around for so long.
I mean, I've also read there's a Lubu spinoff for that. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that. And there's another spinoff I think with one of the other about like the one samurai kid in it, but like, I mean that's another spinoff I haven't really read. I think it's called Requiem of a Shogun. I haven't read or touched yet. And then but yeah, I think like I have a couple things like on my like my reading list, or like to maybe I've been tempted to read Zatch Bell for like just get ready for that second sequel series. But I don't know, man. It's gonna be rough. Especially with JoJo Land's coming out too. Hopefully.
Oh my god, I hope the name is different. I hate that name.
Dude.
I really, I want to dive into like a really big series next. Like I want to read like Kingdom or some shit.
Oh
like,
god,
one that's like just fuck you long.
Hey man, the fans didn't vote for Naruto, sadly, or Dragon Ball when we had the vote.
Sad.
Well,
I really do want to read Dragon Ball.
I mean, that might be the choice after Fully Cooley, and maybe
Dragon Ball's not even that long either.
I said maybe the manga or the anime, because the anime does have very good like.
Of Dragon Ball?
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather read it, I think, but
at least watch some of the martial arts tournaments.
I'll definitely watch some of it
because there's some very excellent choreography in those, especially some of the actual like big fights. So we'll see, but yeah, I'm really sad about this ending in more ways than others.
I'm more sad that like I'm just not gonna get more Dr. Stone because it felt like
you technically are. You're gonna have the one shot, the one shot whenever this in like the summer.
To me, like Dr. Stone died. Like with the series ending, unless they come back for like a proper sequel, like to me, Dr. Stone.
I really don't want
Stone
that
died.
now with the time travel thing.
The only way I'd want it is if literally every character confronts Senku and says time travel's a bad idea. Other than that, I don't want it.
They just destroy the time machine. They unplug it.
Unplug it, and then it makes time go forward instead.
But
yeah, it's just. Yeah, it is sad because like as I said, like
it's a sour taste in our mouths.
Well, yeah, there's that, but also like I've had Dr. Stone as like one of those things that I always like. It's something that I can always return to. Like because I would always wait for
A comfort manga.
Yeah, I would always wait for there to be a bunch of chapters, and then I'd be like, soon I'll catch
Jim's
up
like,
on it.
Oh, hi Kohaku. Hi Chelsea, my comfort characters. How are you?
Chelsea and Kohaku are definitely my comfort characters.
I'm like, oh, hi Nikki. There's my comfort character.
I love Kohaku. She's such an awesome character. I love how much of like a idiot she is.
I love the whole her in a gambling arc was really fun because she used her eyes just to notice gambling, cheating, and everything going on. That was so fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like as I said, I really wish it had more of those sprinkled little like sidetrack things that aren't just the main like attraction. Like they have to. They were
like the
side missions.
The best things.
It's like when the side quests are better than the main quest.
Like one of my favorite parts is like when they, basically when they solve like the Stone Wars, that like little in between arc between that and Treasure Island.
The camera stuff
that's where like the camera thing is.
We didn't see her, did we?
She showed up like 5 chapters ago.
Okay, I have one more thing once you're done.
Oh, but so yeah, like I love like the camera thing was in that. I think the automobile too. Also, when they make the hot air balloon and like they have the moment where the old man blacksmith like sees like the balloon going off the ground, and he's like, I've never in my life imagined that we would be able to fly like birds. Like, and he's like crying, and it's like these amazing tiny moments are why I love Dr. Stone. And I'm not gonna get any anymore.
Who was your favorite character then?
I think it would probably be Kohaku. I really love Kohaku. I love that she was like always consistently there. Mm-hmm. She's one of those characters that really didn't get sidelined.
The cat face.
She's very funny. She's very cute.
I like, even though she does the thing where she attacks Chrome. I think Chrome just being like, I'm so used to this, it doesn't really affect me.
It's kind of funny. It is like a very like anime.
It's an anime thing. It's supposed to be he can get knocked out by the fact that he just doesn't care anymore and just like so used to it.
Yeah,
it's very nice. But I do like Senku's like rejection of women. Of just being
that is kind of on brand for Senku.
I do like I like a woman that can just make pump oxygen in here. Into a furnace.
Yeah,
he makes every woman fall in like Luna. That character.
Talking about least favorite characters.
She was a doctor or a nurse.
She was a nurse.
A nurse student. She was a nursing student.
Yeah, so less than a nurse.
Jesus.
One of my least favorite characters. I hated her. She's so stupid.
They made the game with that one very good cosplayer.
That's all. That's all I think about.
But my favorite
that cosplayer also does Francois cosplay too.
Oh, I don't think I saw that one.
It's very cute.
That's awesome. I think my favorite character is Chrome. Chrome has been my MVP. Every moment with him has been amazing. Like him in the Stone Wars when he had to bust out the jail by himself, like learning or using his tricks. I love it. He's great. Like as I said, everything about the ending is like I really wish he would have been the one to space, but just like every little moment with him is always like really good, and I love him having an assistant with Suka. And
what Chrome represents is like so phenomenal. Like,
yes,
it's basically that like progress is always going to happen, no matter like how bad of a situation people might find themselves in. There's always a hope that like somebody will persevere. Like you need to just keep going.
Yeah,
and you will discover like
my favorite
the way
thing
through.
Are just like Senku realizing like how incredible like Chrome is. Like
those are because it's like humbling for him.
Yeah,
he's like is almost like being shown up by this primitive like caveman.
He's thinking he made the dam by himself, or the water remember the water mill. Yeah, he made that himself, and Senku was like, holy shit, you made a water wheel. Like that is insane. Like I didn't even like help you. Like you did this on your own. What the fuck? He is like my favorite character. I think like out of the side characters, like I do love Nikki for just being like she was a side character that's to be thrown away, but she kind of becomes like the side character leader for the most part. Like you know, she gets shafted a lot later on. Like Yo gets one moment and kind of just becomes like pushed away. But like I generally like seeing her, and especially her just being the leader of the America team. Where I really wish, like I said, it felt that he wanted to get the other half done with. Where like, it felt like it could have been going to split off between like their adventures and Senku's adventures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but,
if I had to pick like a second, like
who's your
my
favorite
character, it like Chelsea just doesn't feel like right.
I feel you would pick Francois.
Yeah, Francois really like I love what Francois represents too.
And like the mini arcs with them is like your favorite. It's like it. Like when I got to the bartender, like okay, this is the gym arc, and I got to the cocktail. Like this is gym arc. Her making food. This is a gym arc. This is like little comfort food for gym.
If that there's a reason why I like Francois, because like I love the cocktail arc so much. I love the the food, like the fact that like Francois always making like whatever regional dish because
making
food
people
is
happy,
such a
making people happy via food. 'Cause
Yes.
Food is such a universal like tool to not only just keep everybody like alive, but just to keep people happy. To just like it's just a way to motivate people more.
And it's perfect that Francois is a butler too, because like it makes more sense that they're more versatile as a character, being like because they're really trying to please, like what you said, like. It's not like they're just a chef. Like a chef would just make food, but
giving someone like
they're trying to
like
please.
The thing with again, like just having the taste of like food from home.
Yeah.
Like the rice is just so important to like to the morale essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
It's why food is so important. Why people love the Food Network or like chefs. It's just like they want that escape via food.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, we don't need to.
But
really
then the
going.
comments too. Your favorite character, your favorite main character, your favorite side character. Yeah, it's just like crazy. It's like
It just feels weird that it's over.
Yeah, I'm like, man, they totally let like Hyuga off the. I think at one point they even mentioned just like with like Sukata, like they could put you on trial for like you and Hyuga for like all the shit you guys do. Like, yeah. If that comes, sure, but I think they have more pressing things that are coming. No one's really dead.
Also, Homura just like is gone. Homura just like vanished.
I feel like she's like just watching Hyuga. Cause she had a crush on him.
Yeah, but she's gone. She's just not even there.
Who cares? She was a character. She was a character important for the Stone Wars, and that's it.
Yeah, she really didn't have.
Other than that part where they
power.
busted Hyuga and her out to
I think it's just weird they even kept her around for that. They should have just kept Hyuga in like the prison alone. Like they should have just written her out. Like because he did it eventually. Like he just wrote her out eventually. Like it's weird that Homura stuck around for as long as she did.
Yeah, but
all right,
it will be missed. It will be missed. Though.
It will be. I'm sad. I'm really sad that it's over.
I guess I have to maybe get caught up on One Piece. I don't know.
I people would be mad if I say this, but like I feel like there's a lot of like kind of tonal similarities between Dr. Stone and One Piece.
I can get that, yeah.
And maybe I'll finally like get into One Piece now.
We can do our set sail on One Piece.
The One Piece and chill.
I could be the setting sail with One Piece, or like I don't know. I can't think of a name right now, but just like I can be the captain and guide you through.
I'll be the first mate that scrubs the poop deck.
Now you be Chopper, you doctrine.
All right. On that note. So
yeah. And Luna's nursing.
Less than a nurse.
It's pathetic.
So yeah, ultimately, Dr. Stone, I liked it a lot. That ending though. Ooh, that ending.
Yeah, let's say play your favorite character, your opinions, what you rate the series. Anything you want to get off your chest.
I would say the ending not as bad as Attack on Titan though.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh god. Oh god, that makes me nervous, Jim. How could it get worse with time travel dangled in front?
Well, time travel's already into Attack on Titan.
Oh fuck.
Kind of. It's like kind of.
Yeah, kind of. It's not like we are making a time machine.
Aaron constructs a Titan time machine.
You go into Aaron's butthole, that's a time machine. But
Aaron gets reborn as a baby.
Oh god. So, all right. Anything else, or should we?
No.
All right. Thank you all so much for listening. Like I said, you can put your comment in there. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. You just kind of time we just wanted to talk and ramble about. We kind of want to get off our chest. This is like more like the regular media where they just sit down and talk about something because we just wanted to.
Yeah.
Again, you can follow the podcast on Twitter or Media Gym separately. You can join the Discord. And with that, I think we will. See you next time on whatever you want to check out.
Yeah, we're gonna have to say goodbye to Dr. Stone. We're gonna seal that stone tomb.
Petrify it.
Petrify Senku for
put it in the fridge.
Put it in the fridge.
Or in the freezer.
So yeah, but though, thank you for listening.
Yep.
And have a great day.
Or a great evening.
Or a great evening.
Or a great night. Jimmy, you've had to go from day, evening to night. God.
Sorry. All right, bye.
Bye-bye.